Hey y'all, Angela Morgan here. So, I wanted to do a beginner's guide to encountering spirits. And so, this video is titled Perceiving the Spirit World for those that are new to mediumship, or if you don't even know what a medium is, which most likely you do, just because of the world we live in, they're starting to come out more and more often. And so, experiencing the spirit world most generally is a good, rewarding experience. And I want to clarify that I do not summon souls, and I would recommend that you didn't either. Um, just because there is a fine distinction and a gray area there, okay? Um, this type of experience that I'm referring to are the souls that come to you. Maybe they're in or around your house, pop in and out of your car as you're driving, or when we're out and about doing our normal everyday thing, maybe at work, at a restaurant, out to eat. They're everywhere, and they're going to come to you in the most off the wall, random ways or places. And so the question is, who are they, and what do we do when we encounter them? Um, Most people who have not yet quite understood what and why sometimes react with fear first because it catches them off guard. Um, and so they think, since they don't know that particular spirit, that it must be something bad, or it's a demon, or possibly a manifestation of their imagination. Like, did I just see that? And then you start questioning yourself, type thing. Most likely, if you see a something, fly by your window, or you see something out of your peripheral, you're actually seeing that. You are not imagining that. It was there. You just briefly tapped into another plane, another dimension. And so, 90% of the time when we encounter spirit, it's really just people that are deceased. And so, when we share our 3D world with other dimensions, as well as many different beings of light and dark, it's kind of like Legos of dimensions stacked on top of each other, like dimension, 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 all within our 3D world. And but you can't see them all, and it's probably a good thing that you can't see it all, because it would be so overwhelming, to say the least. If you were able to see everything in the fourth dimension, fifth dimension, sixth dimension, seventh, eighth, ninth, 10th, plus in limbo, you'd be just absolutely, you couldn't handle it. And that's why you're given certain gifts, and you're limited to certain gifts, so that you can't see or experience it all. Your human body could not handle it all. I know the subject of spirits can be a little scary for some, but if you're seeing, hearing, and feeling them, you are meant to do something with it. And by with it, I mean them. Spirits. So there are spirits that have ascended to the next dimension, wherever they're meant to go, and come back to visit you either in dreams or in connection with someone that's gifted to give you a message, or however they come across to you. But there are spirits who are actually stuck, and by stuck, I like to call it actually being in limbo. Some spirits may know that they're deceased, and some that I've come across, they do not understand that they are dead in this world. They are called earthbound spirits. Um, Maybe they have unfinished business, maybe they wanted to stay, and until that unfinished business is finished or completed, or they're ready, whatever it may be that is keeping them here, they're going to continue to remain in that limbo between dimensions until it's finished. You may come across spirits that are like sweet old granny ladies that just want to go into your kitchen and bake you an apple pie. You may come across spirits that may not speak at all. Others that you may come across will just look at you. They'll stare back in the corner or at the foot of your bed and just look at you. Yeah, that's a little creepy. Some may give you hand gestures. Some may speak in full sentences. Some may give you images inside your head. It's just there's so many different ways that spirit communicates. So then you'll come across spirits that are not so friendly. But that'll be another video in the future. I'm not even going to get into that right now. And so, regardless of any type of the spirit that steps into your radar zone, for me, when I know that spirit is stepping into my zone, so to speak, the top of my head will start tingling, or I will also get physical symptoms. And so, because I'm an intuitive medium, but I often rely on physical symptoms to distinguish whether it's them or it's me. And if I'm, getting sick to my stomach for no absolute reason, I know spirit's fixing a step forward. And so it's really up to you for you to choose to acknowledge them or not. That's your prerogative. I tend to fill them out before allowing any sort of energy exchange. It only takes a few seconds. And at this point, you're going to know if you want to open up your lines of communication. Understanding how they communicate is key. They will use words, gestures, emotions, physical symptoms, as I said, numbers, things of that nature in conjunction with things that you have experienced during your own life. And they'll use that to explain their message in a way that you can understand, to be able to relay that message to the person that it's meant for. For example, an easy one that most people can relate to is the snapping of the fingers. I get that a lot, and the reason I get that a lot is because my grandmother used to do that to me all the time. She would be like, Angela, right now. And so for me, when spirit snaps their fingers at me, it means quick or sudden. And so that's just an example of my guide knows to tell them, if you want her to know that you pass quickly, you snap your fingers at her. And then that's what that means for me. And so sometimes there are no messages and they just want to visit. That is actually happens quite a bit, and it's not uncommon for that to happen. It's up to you if you want to entertain them. I've had an instance when I walked past my kitchen and I seen an older lady in her 70s just standing at my kitchen stove just cooking away. And I realized at that point that I had stepped into a brief second of limbo and caught her within with I saw her in another dimension, but yet it was in my plane. And so she didn't acknowledge me, and I just let her be, and I kept on walking. And so she would be considered an earthbound spirit because she was doing what it is that she had done here when she was alive on earth, which was probably she was in the kitchen a lot and she liked to do that and she liked to cook. And so that won't be uncommon for you either, to see spirits doing something that they did when they were alive. 90% of the time they're harmless. In my next video, I'm going to discuss claiming dominion over your space and becoming aligned in agreement with spirit in order to work together to be the best tool that you can be to give loving and healing messages to others in this line of work that we are called to do. So I will talk to you soon. Mwah.